Hello and welcome to the show. We are back today on Forza Horizon 4 with another team adventure. This one, all about the big engines. Everything racing in this has got a 7-litre engine or larger. Yes, there is a Hummer on our team. I'm driving an AMC Gremlin. We've got a Camaro, a Hornet, a Hemi Cuda. There is also an Edinburgh Skyline, of course. Engine swaps are allowed in this, and the 6.2 litre V8 that goes in a lot of cars, the Chevy engine, can be bought out to a 7 litre, which is what I have got in my Gremlin here. So there are some other unusual choices. For example, there is an Insignia on the other team. We've got a Lamborghini up ahead of us. There's a Mercedes convertible. The Transit is bolting off towards the front. Now the Hummer is apparently, allegedly, not actually all that bad. So that should be interesting to see. I mean, it's got a surprising turn of pace through those corners. I suspect it will get annihilated down the straight simply because of its weight. Yes, it has a lot of power, a lot of torque. However, it's a very, very heavy vehicle. My little Gremlin here has about 430 horsepower. However, it is quite light in comparison to a lot of what we are racing around here. Yeah, sure enough, the Hummer is struggling massively. Can I do anything? I was not going to do anything about the Camaro. Whoop! Hummer beat rock clearance. Actually, Hummer, if you could either chase down Mercs or or let teammates go who might be able to chase down the Merc and the Transit. Oh, that was very close. Now, of course, these team adventures, I've been overtaken by a Hummer has outcornered my Gremlin. That's a weird sentence to say. It's a weird sentence to say a Hummer's outcornered anything, but, I mean, Gremlin's not exactly a notoriously good handling car from start. Regardless, weird things are happening. A Transit's leading the way from a Mercedes, from a Camaro, from a Hummer and a Gremlin. It's the FailRace Wacky Brigade. Hummer's got some serious turning. I mean, I'm a little scared about diving too much. Anyway, I got distracted because I'm far too busy fighting a Hummer to say what I was going to say. Yes, these team adventures take place over a multitude of surfaces. We have tarmac races, we have off-road races, we have cross-country races even. So, while a vehicle may be very good on the tarmac, might struggle when it comes to off-road. I mean, I would expect the Hummer to be in its element when we go off-road, when we go cross-country, and so on, not to be so strong on the tarmac. And if it's doing fairly well here, it might be a concern. It's not our team, but at the end of the day, be grateful that we are the ones with the Hummer on our team. I didn't think I'd say that again. This has been a day of strange sentences, a race of strange sentences within a couple of laps. No Hummer. Bad Hummer. Bad Hummer. No, you bloody... I mean, we do need the Hummer to pass the Transit, really. We need... I think it's our Camaro. I think it was a Camaro anyway, up in second. If that could get the lead from the Mercedes and I can get past the Transit, that would be really helpful. That would be very helpful indeed. Christ, the Ford was on... oh, I am out of gears. My gear ratios are... Well, this is probably about as long a circuit as we'll go to, so that's okay. Christ. Oh, this has been a mad and frantic start to the race. So, at the front, there is a battle for the lead. There may well be a battle for the podium spot. Sure enough, the Transit is struggling. The Skyline, to be fair, the Skyline is a sensible choice in this. I would imagine engine swap and engine displacement increase and hopefully rally tyres on that thing, and that's not a bad choice of a vehicle when you look at what we are running up with. There's a funny old noise going on in the background. Oh no, the other Transit, the modern Transit, has found a way past our Hummer. I'm in a Transit sandwich. This is not what we wanted. Not what I expected. I knew we were going to have an interesting selection of vehicles in this when oh, it's the Transit that makes a huge amount of noise. Yeah, I knew we were going to have an interesting selection of vehicles when I said, let's build some 7-litre A-Class cars. Wasn't quite prepared for this unusual selection of vehicles, but there we go. Yeah, so the Transit kind of gets me on acceleration, but doesn't really get me on top speed, I guess, because it's got all the aerodynamic properties of a large barn. Oh, the Transit's playing it really risky with the checkpoints. I think the Transit won't be able to hold on here. It won't be able to get up the inside of me. It is not going to have the grip. We get a little bit of a nudge. I'm happy to park on the apex there. I'm happy to just park it on the apex and run away. Now, the Transit's going to get me on acceleration. Up at the front, they're still fighting for positions here. It could go... I mean, really, to be comfortable, we need me to stay ahead of the Transit. If we can keep our Camaro in the lead. That would be very, very nice as well here in towards the city. This is where we don't now have to worry about the transit. We don't have to worry about the Hummer being directly around us, so we can just drive through here as we want. It looks like, provided I don't screw it up on these next couple of corners, looks like the Gremlin might get the podium. I'm not sure I've quite got the pace of the two cars ahead of me. Oh, the transit's very wide in the background. Skyline may well get fifth as we come across the line. It's a first and I think a third. Well, I think it was a first actually, I should say. Yes, it was a first and third for Red Team. Fifth place for our Nissan. Seventh place for the Hummer ahead of the Cuda and Hornet. A fairly solid all-round result for us. A fairly solid all-round result for us. Quite a mixed up, you know, leaderboard going on there. Quite a mixed up leaderboard, in fact. We score enough points to take the first victory. So, up next, we head to a cross-country circuit. I have no idea how any of us are going to perform around here, particularly. I'd expect the Hummer to be good. This is a fairly straightforward circuit in as far... We haven't got nasty corners. We haven't got, you know, big chicanes and whatnot to deal with. I think, if I remember this track correctly, there's a big old jump on the back section. I don't know if I've ever actually used this in one of our team adventures. So there could be some cars that have some big issues with the jump that we don't really know about. Could be some missing of checkpoints, as is always the thing when it comes to well, any racing on Horizon, full stop. So what we got? Oh, I've bobbled very nastily across there, but that's fine. Oh, Mercedes, I think missed a checkpoint. It looks like the Insignia might have done as well. Hummer is up in the top 3 at the moment, fighting with the Camaro, fighting with that yellow Transit. Oh, Mercedes doesn't look like it's having too much fun out here. We will pass that. Lamborghini could be quite good here. Decent amount of power in that one. Yeah, it's kind of a... You want a lot of power out here simply because you've got quite a lot of acceleration zones, and you've got, you know, uphill acceleration zones. You want power, you want torque, you also don't want too much weight, which I guess I have got going for me. I'm the lightest car in the top 6, I would imagine. Classic Transit's probably very light as well. Oh, big near terrible disaster for the Lamborghini right there. Very near a terrible disaster for the Lamborghini. I'm running in very deep to try and not... Well, we brushed the wall, at least we didn't clobber it. Ah, there goes the Mercedes. Now the Lamborghini's having a look as well. A little bit of ghost mode going on. Who is faster down here? Sorry, I want to make sure I at least get the checkpoint. We're onto the tarmac and we fall a couple of positions down. Okay, so our Camaro is not having as much fun out here on the cross country. The Hummer's leading the way. The Hummer is surprisingly good, it would seem. I mean, we expected it to be better when it came to the off-road stuff. It didn't quite expect... Oh! Transit down! The classic Transit that has fallen over. I mean, we saw the Lamborghini do... I think it was the Lamborghini wanted a front flip. Was it Lamborghini or the Mercedes? I don't know. One of the silver cars around us nearly did a front flip last lap, so it's perhaps not so surprising to see the Transit go for a tumble. My Gremlin's been fairly stable, which I like. You know, I like it, a car that doesn't, well, I can make anything fall over. However, when I'm racing, I like a car that doesn't fall over constantly, funnily enough. He has got some go about it. I don't know if we're going to catch it. If anything, we're kind of at a very similar place to the Transit, in many ways perhaps to the Camaro as well. Don't have a big crash there. Thankfully, we did not. Oh, Mercedes has got a twitch and it's going the wrong way. We've all done that one before. It looked like almost a sim steering sort of twitch. It could just be a bouncing around on the landing a sort of twitch, which, yeah, they do happen a fair bit. Oh, we are struggling to cling on to... Yeah, Lamborghini's gone. He's up into second and is off into the distance. So we're trying to have our Lamborghini cling on to a third place, battling a Transit. I want to come and join in this fight with the Gremlin if I can, because, you know, any more points. We are actually got quite a nice, comfortable lead. We've got a big block of cars going on in this one. Yeah, our team lead is quite nice. However, I always want to, you know, get my own vehicles further up the leaderboard if I can at all. There was a little bit of fighting. It seems like the blue team were not helping each other out particularly in all of that, as the Lamborghini fought with the Transit, and then all of that fighting. Camaro might be struggling, might be down on power possibly in all of this. It does seem to be struggling a little bit. That Hummer is completely... I mean, look, you can see it climb the mountain in the distance. That's impressive. I know the Hummer's got a lot of power, a lot of torque, and so on. You just wouldn't expect it to be even remotely good enough in the turns. You expect it to be so heavy to be almost useless. But that's really not. That is really not. We're going to clonk on the ground. It's a nasty landing for us. Camaro's in a lot of trouble. We've seen that from a couple of cars. We saw the Mercedes go gallivanting off with a similar thing. Can we hunt a Transit? Can we get 2 red team cars on the podium? I think it's going to be more me fighting with the Camaro. I feel that's the way it's going to go. Unless the Transit and Lamborghini trip over one another, unless I trip over a house, which I would rather not. Oh, bugger, the things respawn, or say respawn, they weren't in like render distance, I guess, as the Lamborghini went through. Yeah, so I mean, I could run the car in with a lot of speed here. It's the outright straight line speed of the Gremlin that hurts it a touch. Yeah, just keeping an eye on the points. We're still doing fairly well here. Still doing fairly well. Camaro right behind us as we head. I'm going to be trying to be neat. Maybe, well, I'll say a little bit neater. That was more bloody sideways than I normally go through corners. However, we made it work. We're not lost time to the Camaro as such. Not really gaining anything. Transit, I think, is clear now in second, barring a massive mistake. You never know what's going to happen on this big jump. A lot of things can happen. We're running away from that Camaro, and I find a sneaky way onto the podium. Could we get a second podium for the Gremlin? Would be nice. Would be nice, that's for sure. Oh, Lamborghini's twisted in the air. I'm at least a little bit better positioned. I just kind of lost a lot of momentum on the landing in that one, which is a little bit of a problem for me, although we've got very, very good run. That's the sort of line we want. Lamborghini was sliding too much. Oh, big bump from my car. That's not helping matters there, really. Where is that Lamborghini gone? No, it's fallen back. Okay, good news for me. Good news for me in this one. It was good news for me. Lamborghini's having a look up the inside. Is he going to get that stopped in time? Will he make the corner? I will just cut back underneath. The Skyline is actually flying his way up through the field. Skyline kind of seems to struggle a little bit early on and just gets faster and faster. Don't fall over, Gremlin! Oh. That was close. That was very, very uncomfortable. Not going to lie, I'd rather we didn't do that one again. We've got one more big jump to go. Didn't actually realise how long this circuit was. One more big jump to go. We're not catching the Transit. The Transit is not getting anywhere near that Hummer. Hell, I don't even think we can see we can just see the Hummer go up the hill. That's how far ahead it is. It's kind of a shame we don't get to see lap times when you do a team adventure. Oh, don't lose control. Bouncing through the sort of cobblestone wall there. Across these sort of nasty bits of terrain, really. Can we go off the edge here? Fairly straight. There we go. Yeah, oh, it's just the parting of the cars going on behind us as everyone just gets fired in a different direction. Oh, my turn to have a very big slide. That's not ideal, really. If anything, I think the Camaro's got the best run of all of us. I'm actually in a really wonky place. The Camaro might get me if I'm not careful. We're taking out somebody's table. Come on, Gremlin, you can do it. Well, I think we got it. I don't actually know who got what position behind us. It was close. They bumped doors. Oh, the Lamborghini got it just. That would have been a very, very close finish, I would imagine, between them. Sixth would go to our Skyline. In the end, that kind of big jump just had cars splayed out across the track, and it would not go the way of the Lamborghini. The Mark 1 Transit recovered a little bit. I say shame it fell over, but yeah, should have been a bit faster around there. I'll take a 2-0 lead though. So we head next to a street circuit. Not really what these cars are going to like. Weirdly, I think the Hummer might be very, very fast here. I think the Hummer might work very well around here. I think I'm not bad off with the Gremlin. It seemed pretty good through the turns. I do think the Camaro might be a little faster than me. It's good. We've got cars covering just about every single aspect on our team. Not really sure about what the other team is going to have to offer around here. The Mercedes looked quick in that first race. Didn't look like it had much fun off-road. That fell through the order. We have got to be a little mindful this circuit has some nasty curbs. Unlikely to phase the cars in the dry. However, there are some nasty curves. There are some nasty street furniture. There's a lot of understeer going on. Well, we're stuck. It's not where we want to be. It's not where we want to be at all. Unfortunately, we are kind of... I say we are kind of. Blue team have got cars running clear. A lot of red cars are stuck quite a lot further back in traffic here. We've got our Hemi Cuda is in a podium spot and about to get past, although here comes a lot of red team vehicles now. Poor Mark 1 Transit is... Yeah, this is not a circuit for the Mark 1 Transit. Now, I don't know about the newer Transit, although it has got massive acceleration down here. Quick, punch a hole in the air. Let me use some of that slipstream to good effect, possibly. Oh, God, and then try and panic and brake for the next corner, which I won't sneak up the inside. Looks like a Camaro is chasing off after that lead pair. Now, blue team do need a win in this round. If blue team do not win this round, the game will go to us. Try not to overdrive that corner too much. And they have got a points advantage. I'm hoping, certainly thinking the Camaro might not take too long to pass the Lamborghini. It's whether it's going to have the time to catch up to that Transit, whether I'm going to have the time to catch up to this group, and who knows what might happen further back. You know, every point, every position matters in this one. You may be fighting for 10th place, but that can decide a round of this. It can very easily, in fact, decide a round in this. Lamborghini's going to outrun the Camaro down the straight and just kind of make life difficult, really. Out the inside, if it can stop, which it can't, that makes life easier for me now. I will say thank you very, very much for that position. With the current order of cars, we need to get first and second, actually, with the current order of cars further back. Now, of course, but I need to not do that. No, silly driver. Not the car's fault, just silly driver, that one. Yeah, look, it's just trying to do maths and drive is not a good idea whatsoever. I was expecting the Hummer to like this circuit a bit more with it. It seems to be very grippy. Apparently not so much. Not so much the case. We could do with a fight at the front, slowing each of them down. We are now... Oh, it's going to be very close. It's going to be very close in points. I think if we get the lead now, it might go to 50 points in our favour. Possibly. We will... Oh, no! A missed checkpoint from the Camaro, possibly? Something went on with the Camaro. That's not what we needed. That is not what we needed. Bugger. I'm definitely not catching that Transit. I think that Transit's got me here. We were relying on the Camaro to fight that and hope that they'd maybe slow each other down enough. Now the Camaro's fallen back to a fourth position. It's all got a little bit wrong on the streets of Edinburgh. Turns out our car's not so great around here. I feel like maybe it was just the concertina effect of some of these corners. Maybe some of these corners that Transit really is struggling. I imagine it is very fast down the straights and not really enjoying these turns. We are closer than we have been to the leader. I just think it's going to be too little too late to be like, okay, good. Camaro's got back up a position. If I can get past the Transit, it might be enough for us. We'd need two positional gains further back to do it. So if our Hummer, for example, could get up a place, if any of the blue cars in that little group miss a checkpoint, that would work wonders for us. I'm just not far. I'm not close enough here. This is where we need to be closer, and the Transit's got me. I'm good at the final sector, but around here, just too far back. Oh, will the Transit make a mistake? That's what we're looking for now, I think. I mean, I'm still driving as hard as I can with the Gremlin, but if we are going to make a pass, it would be because the Transit's messed up more than I've made. I won't make enough ground. God damn it, it's now within 50 points. As I said, if we gained a position, which we did further back, I think we got a 10th place away from one of the blue cars, it would go within 50 points. However, the victor of the race gets an extra 50 points over the 100 points per car they are ahead, and that looks like that might be the deciding factor. I've actually made a mess of that final corner as well. Bugger! The Gremlin continues with the podium streak, and we get a second. We're getting better. We're getting better with the with the Gremlin. Will there be any changes? I don't actually think we can score any more points anyway. Further back, it's just what order do vehicles finishing? Can it be a little more comfortable for blue? The answer is no. 50 points in it. Blue team are going to take a victory. Blue team will avert the, I say invert the inevitable. Who knows? Maybe this will be the start of an amazing comeback. Well, we're back off-road again. The Highland Farm Scramble is our venue of choice. And I'm not sure if we are going to... theoretically, the Hummer's going to be good. And I'm not sure for my poor Gremlin. The transits are likely to be fast here. There is, I guess there's less extreme off-roading. There's not, you know, the massive jump to have to deal with around here. There is rain. Don't know what effect that's going to have on the cars. Yeah, there is some rain. There are a couple of cars that might not be on off-road tyres, judging by those start, or might have been slight. By the fact they're in ghost mode, might have been some slight connection issues with getting this race launched. Not sure about that, but there we have it. Oh, Lamborghini does get to the inside. Just a little bit of leaning. That's okay. We've all done it at some point in these races. Our Camaro is to the lead, which is good for us. Oh, we're going to aerial attack at back of the Vauxhall. Not what you want. We can probably sneak around the outside of the Insignia. Transit is going to be immensely quick as soon as we get out of the corners. Probably won't enjoy this. The rain probably won't help the Transit either. It looks like it has got bicycle wheels on that. I don't know how much power. I'm guessing a lot. However, lots of power going through bicycle wheels is very dangerous. Now, Gremlin, how do you deal with the bumps? It looks more comfortable. Oh, this is a... Try not to murder a Transit. I'm very sorry. I won't overtake you for punting you wide at the corner. Yeah, unintentional. The Transit gets stopped well. We were on the brakes at a fairly similar time, and that Transit really did pull up quickly. Oh, I could be flat through there. Why am I going on the brakes? I don't know. That's not a sight you want to see in your rearview mirror. The Camaro's buggered off at the front, which is good for us. We've got, again, there is a vehicle. There is a vehicle of ours, whichever... We've had a car that's worked at just about every track, and that is so important. We have snuck our way up the inside. Here comes the Hummer and the modern Transit. Now, my hope is to keep our podium streak alive. Am I going to really be faster than those cars? Am I really going to be... Well, cars, trucks, vans, machines, whatever they want. Oh, okay, that time is a little bit more uncomfortable for us. Oh, that's way too late on the brakes. Not if I do that, basically. I got on the brakes as we started bobbling around in the air, and, well, wheels not touching the ground. Funnily enough, brakes not doing anything. Not good. Not good. And now I'm in a Transit sandwich again, with a Hummer looking for a way past all of us. It's the more weird sentences. Where's the Hummer gone, actually? Points-wise, we're doing well. Points-wise, we are doing well here as we get past the Transit once more at the same corner, this time a slightly different way. We'll make it work. There is a Hummer. Transit was blocking my view of the Hummer. That's what was going on back there. Camaro's having a boring but easy race. I say easy race. You've still got to, you know, not ping it in a wall like I did. A quiet race is probably the better way of putting it. Up at the front, nobody even remotely close to challenging the Camaro around here. I'm on the brakes nice and early. Transit not stopping on the outside. Hummer! Gremlin, run away! This is a terrifying brigade of cars. I mean, the Gremlin's not a large vehicle per se, but it is really tiny in this particular fight. I guess the Mark 1 Transit's not the biggest vehicle in the world, but yeah, I feel like a very small car in this particular fight, despite my 10 metres of bonnet going on with this. Oh, that's a wall. Never mind. We'll get away with it. Synchronised drifting with transits and Hummers going on behind us. And that was a spectacular sight. I will say that much. That was an incredibly spectacular sight. Well done, everybody. I think maybe it will be Leo's transit that's my bigger concern in many ways. Our Hummer missed a checkpoint. Our Hummer missed a checkpoint and has fallen back. I presume it was a missed checkpoint anyway, as to why you'd have fallen so far back from that fight. We have got one more lap. I'm not sure I quite trust my car to be flat through there. It might be able to. I think the transit might have been braver than I. Okay, so we're going to have to fend off a transit for the remainder of this lap. Can I do that? Possibly. The transit has proved to be mighty quick. It's certainly not got the measure of the Camaro around here. It's probably got the measure of me. However, we're stuck fighting a Hummer for a lot of the race. So the Hummer might, in the end have missed a checkpoint. Oh, you're going to be a sneaky bugger. I didn't actually think I could carry that much speed around there. That's annoying. That is very annoying. So the Hummer almost did some great teamwork and managed to slow the transit down enough. Yeah, well, could have maybe been a bit braver. Could have tried running wider through that corner. Either way, the Gremlins' podium streak continues. It doesn't actually matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. The Hummer ends up slipping to 8th in that one. Because Red Team, we collect enough points and we will take a victory in the 7 litre A-Class Challenge. Admittedly, Blue Team were unlucky, had a disconnection just as we started that race. Yeah, a victory. Victory will go to us. The Gremlin did well. The Gremlin did do very well indeed. We had a vast selection of different cars working in all sorts of different areas. The Hummer got a victory. The Hummer actually got a very, very comfortable, massive comfortable victory in all of that. So, we had an interesting outcome. Had an interesting outcome. That is for sure. Gremlin's not bad. It's probably not going to be. I'm not going to replace my Legacy as my go-to A-Class car. That being said, yeah, worked just about everywhere. Scored solid points. Hell, getting podiums every single race. Scoring some nice solid points. Always very good. That, though, is going to be it for this video. If you'd like to take part in the next one of these, you can sign up via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. Find the FailRace versus the community section, and you can sign up in there. But that is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.